Hello, welcome back. I have not gone live like this in a long time. We've been on the road for over a month, maybe a month and a half at this point. It's been kind of crazy. So I'm back and I'm excited to get into some makeup today. I wanted to do my favorite go-to summer makeup. I only have about 45 minutes, so it's gonna be a quick one for me at least, but I'm excited to just sit down and enjoy myself and do a little bit of makeup. So let's get into it. Starting with a little bit of primer first. I have all my base on already. I have sunscreen, all my skincare and everything like that. So I'm just gonna go through it with a bit of primer. I'm just taking the NYX Pore Filler. We've been in the desert the last couple of weeks. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that. But yeah, we were just in the desert, hanging out in Tucson, Arizona, which we love. So my skin is really super dry. Hi, Charlotte. Hi, guys. Just trickling in. Yeah, so I am just going in with a little bit of primer. I'm gonna keep this video pretty informative and not be too active in the chat, just a heads up, so we can just breeze through this because I really don't have a lot of time. So, okay, I'm taking a little bit of a bronzing product. This is the Face Glaze Bronze from In Beauty Project. I think this is a perfect dupe for the Drunk Elephant drops. You do not need to spend that much money. So I'm just grabbing a bit of that on my hand. I'm just gonna find a big kind of fluffy brush to blend this in to the cheeks and around the perimeter of my head, just for some extra glow. I feel like in the summertime, I just wanna focus on skin. So a glowy, kind of bronzy look is what I'm always reaching for in the summertime. I like to just add these kind of bronzy drops to my face very strategically. I know a lot of people like to put them in the moisturizer. I don't feel like that lasts throughout the day long enough for me. That's just my personal preference, but I'm just kind of working this into the skin with a brush and putting this in the high points of my face, just working it around the perimeter, top of the cheekbones, anywhere that I want a little extra bronziness. Cool. I think that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not too concerned about like being too bronzy because I actually have some fake tan on. So as long as I have a little bit, I feel a little bit more summery. Okay, now concealer. I've been using way less foundation in the summer and a lot more concealer. So I just like to go a little heavier on concealer if I'm doing no foundation or at least less foundation. So I'm just gonna be really strategic. Under eyes, I like to highlight kind of this high point of my cheek, any breakouts. I have just a couple of small ones. Skin's not too bad, but I am gonna use this opportunity to kind of chisel out my cheekbones and kind of correct any areas that I have redness or blemishes. Okay. Wow, hi Elena. All right, friends. Like I said, I'm just gonna keep this live kind of quick because I really don't have much time. This is Natasha Denona Concealer, the best ever. My go-to die-hard favorite concealer right now. A little bit of Fix Plus Stay Over. This is like a long wear setting spray. In the summertime, I like to just work that into my sponge, and this is gonna help kind of like set the makeup as I'm pressing it into the skin with my beauty sponge. It's a little long wear trick that I used to do on brides when I used to do freelance bridal makeup. If you spray a little setting spray on the sponge, it actually is gonna lock that makeup into place as you're applying it. See how fast that blends out? Just kind of hides the redness, gives me a little bit of coverage without taking away the bronziness. So I like to do that bronzing first, so it gives some depth and dimension, and then we can go through, add the concealer and kind of correct. I love this highlight spot. I just feel like it lifts the face so nicely. So we're gonna tap underneath the eye. I'm just gonna look up so I get no creasing. But this concealer shouldn't crease on literally anyone. It's so freaking good. Whatever's left, I'm just gonna pack onto my eye. So I have a little bit of blank canvas. Same thing here on the cheek. Tap it in. Already my face just feels more alive, more awake. Cool. Nothing too crazy with concealer. It's concealer. But I am gonna just press out any little areas that I need to cover. Okay. Now for foundation, I'm gonna keep this really quick. I wasn't even gonna wear foundation. I still am debating, but I think I'll do a little bit of House Labs. I'm just taking one pump on the back of my hand. Even that was probably too much. I don't need that much coverage, but I'm just going to work that into the center of my cheek, just because I have some texture and some discoloration. And I'm just gonna kind of pounce that sponge on like the wide part of my sponge. I'm just gonna pounce that over my cheek, over my brow, and just a little bit up the side of my head. It's summertime. I wear hats a lot in the summertime so that I don't get sunburned. So I'm really not even gonna take this too far up my head right now because I'll wear a hat when I go out. See how that just gives a little bit more coverage, but it looks really natural. It's not gonna be like a heavy, thick foundation application. This is like summer application. So pretty. I'm just taking whatever's left down my neck, but it's really just whatever's in the sponge. I'm not adding a whole lot. There we go. Nice, easy, quick foundation. Whatever's left up on my head. Then for my head foundation, what I like to do is grab a bit of a powder foundation. So I have my MAC Studio Fix powder foundation. I'm just gonna take the same big fluffy brush I used earlier, and that's what I'm gonna use to kind of set my head and add a little coverage to my head. With my alopecia, my hair kind of grows back and falls out as it pleases. I don't know why it does that, but so I shave parts of my head. So there's little patches. I just want everything to look nice and smooth, similar color. And then I'm gonna take what's left on this brush and just kind of dust over the whole face to give a little bit extra coverage, but not dull the skin. I still want it to look like skin. Super quick over the brows before I do my eyebrows. Okay, then I'm gonna go in with a cream blush. I've been using this recently. This is the Armani Luminous Silk Cheek Tint in the shade 31. I thought it had like a more interesting name, but you can see it's like a very kind of like bright coral cheek tint. I think it's gonna be really pretty for the summer. So I'm gonna take that on the back of my hand. I never go in and just add it to the cheek. I just don't wanna contaminate that wand. But I'm gonna take a little bit of like a cream blush brush, something small. This one's perfect. This is like a kind of a dense brush. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that cheek tint and just tap it. I love this formula so much. I just picked it up from Sephora the other day. But I feel like for summertime, this tone, like it looks really intense. It's not really intense at all. It's so pretty. And because we've just added a little bit of powder, that's just gonna stick to the powder beautifully, and voila, we have some blush. So I'm gonna add a little bit more to the other side, but it's just the perfect kind of like cream blush without being too much. Sometimes I feel like the Rare Beauty blushes, I have those also and I love them, but sometimes I feel like in the summertime they just melt off of me. I mean, if you have oily skin like I do, you probably know that feeling. It's hard to get them to stay on. So I feel like adding a little powder first with that MAC powder, that allows me to get like a base, and then I can put this over top. Look how pretty. I'm obsessed with this one. Okay, cool. Blush is done. I'm just like cruising through this. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of contour. Here's my Milk Makeup Stick. Same thing, I just add a little bit to my hand, like the smallest amount. This is the shade Stoked, One of the best contour shades I've literally ever found, ever. I'm gonna take a tiny bit on this little paintbrush. This is literally an actual paintbrush from the art store. And I'm just gonna use that to kind of subtly contour my nose. I like to just wiggle this along the side and add some shape and dimension, but in a way that looks really natural, right? I don't like drawing lines along the side of my nose. So we wanna keep this really soft, really natural. I'm gonna do a little button nose, so add a little line along the top, a little line along the bottom. I can't even talk today. I had one Red Bull, maybe that's why. Yeah, so I'm just working this into the shapes of my face to kind of add some more dimension, add some depth. Once I have that on, I'm just gonna take my little sponge and I'm gonna tap it out. And I'm just blending everything together so that it looks really natural, really soft. Then I'm gonna go back in with that same liquid blush brush that I use. And just because I'm here and I'm moving quick, I'm gonna use that same thing to add a bit of contour. And this is just going in the hollows of my cheek and whatever's left under the chin. Super quick. Same thing on this side, I'm picking up whatever's left. And I'm just gonna work that in to the hollows of my cheek. And I'm tapping that upward just because I want to diffuse it, blend it out. This isn't a bronzer, it's a contour. So I'm not taking it too high. I just wanna keep it nice and low. Yes, if you're just joining, I do have alopecia. Okay. Now that that has been worked in, I feel good about it. I'm gonna go through and just set my face a little bit. I have my Westman Atelier pink powder, which I love. I'm literally home for one day here in LA, and then we leave again tomorrow for Montana for the next 2 weeks. So I've just been on the go so much. That's why I have not posted like a full long form video in a while. So if you've been wanting that content, thank you for being so patient. I promise it's coming. I just need to sit down and be able to film it. But it's been a busy summer so far, for sure. So thanks for bearing with me. Okay, so this is the pink powder from Westman Atelier. It's so good. And I'm just tapping this in the center of my face. And then I'm gonna take a little bit under my contour that I just did too, and just kind of define that highlight underneath the contour. It just gives a little bit more dimension. Pretty. One product I just picked up the other day while I was in Arizona is this one. This is the Soft Radiance Bronzer by Huda Beauty, the Glowish line. I think they're discontinuing this really soon. So if you like this like I do, stock up. This is in the shade number 3, Tan Light. Tan Light. Screenshot it if you like this on me. I'm about to apply it. I'm just gonna take a really fluffy brush. This is the Sigma Samantha Ravindal collaboration. So I'm just gonna dip in like this, tap it off in the cap, and I'm just gonna dust it over top of that contour. I just think this finish and this color is so pretty. I don't know why I waited so long to try these, but of course now they're getting discontinued. Classic. But I just think that is such a pretty tone. I'm just gonna continue kind of taking it up the side of my head, blend it out a little bit, add a bit to my nose. You can kind of squeeze the brush together to get a little bit more control. But I'm just kind of doing this very quickly because time. Cute. Okay. For my head, for the whole thing, I usually like a bigger brush. Yeah, let's do this. I'm switching brushes. This one is a random brush, but I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of work this in to the top of my head. This is where I feel a lot more summery, like a good warm, not too warm, but a good warm bronzer on the head just makes me feel like, okay, I've been out in the sun, even though I haven't. I'm very crazy about sunscreen, but even though I haven't been out in the sun, this makes me feel a little bit more ready for summertime. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna take a little bit of my Huda Beauty powder, and while this is baking, I'm going to do my eyebrows. So I'm going to just add a little bit of dimension. Just do a small little bake like this. This is gonna really help those features like high cheekbones kind of come to life through this contouring. So I like to go on the perimeter of my nose. And for today, I'm gonna go under my eye as well, just to kind of brighten. This is the, I think it's called Pink Cupcake or Pink Cherry Blossoms, pink something. This is my favorite powder from Huda for sure. So go a little under the eyes, I'll try to get that line a little straighter. And I'm also gonna powder the center of my forehead because when I'm out in the heat, this is where I start to get the most creasing fast. A little on the chin. That's it. All right. For blush, I'm gonna wait actually to do my blush until I finish my brows. So let's do some quick brows. I am so glad I'm back home for a day because I am running out of this. This is my Urban Decay Brow Blade. That's all I have left. It's literally at the end of its little life. So moving on to a new one, a new pencil. Let's see if I have one. I do have one, Brunette Betty. This isn't my normal shade, but we're gonna use it because don't have time to be picky. Okay, this is Brunette Betty. Let's see how this goes. I'm gonna grab a little powder puff. I always like to do this while I'm doing my eyebrows because then I don't like disrupt and move the rest of my makeup. So I'm just looking down into my mirror and I eyeball my eyebrows every single day. This is like such a journey, so be patient with me. But I'm just kind of eyeballing the shape that I want. I always make them too long, always, like every day. But this is the shape. I just kind of do like very light sketches of what I want to create here, right? I like to add more dimension than I think that I want because I like a good pronounced eyebrow. And it always starts looking crazy. So this is a trust the process kind of thing, guys. Okay, so I'm just pressing super lightly, right? There's my first one. Ta-da. I will do a tattoo tour. I've been wanting to do a tattoo tour. I just need to do it. But I have a new one coming soon that I'm excited for. My husband's getting one when we get back from Montana. He's getting one here in LA and I'm stoked for that. He's getting like a really big piece. So that's happening. What else? What else is happening in life? I'm excited for this trip to Montana because we are just taking a little break, like a little bit of a work break, which is gonna be good. Okay, this is my eyebrow shape. I literally just eyeball these so I can immediately tell this needs a little more in the front and on the top. This one needs a little bit more thickness. It's just like a bounce back and forth kind of thing. Okay, Brunette Betty's not bad, honestly. This is a little warmer than I would normally go. But it's a summer makeup tutorial. I'm here for it. Okay, adding that back into my travel kit that I'm about to literally repack. Okay, then I just take my bronzer brush, whatever's on it, tap over them to kind of set them. And then I'm gonna grab my, oh God, if I can even find it, my beloved eyebrow brush. I use the Anastasia 7B brush. That is like my OG favorite brush for eyebrows. And of course I can't find it. Sweet. Ah, got her. If I don't have this eyebrow brush, I swear I'm like not doing eyebrows. Okay, I'm gonna grab my KVD pomade. Wow, that's what the Benefit one is called, is pomade. So this is a pomade from KVD. I've been loving this a lot. I kind of go back and forth between the KVD pomade and the Benefit pomade, it's called. But right now I'm in a phase of this one for sure. So I'm just taking that on my little brush here. And this is where I draw in my little hair-like strokes. I start in the front and I just draw in details. It's super hard to do this and talk and be on camera at the same time. So I'm gonna be quiet probably for a minute. But this is how I've been doing my eyebrows for years and years. And I swear I get more compliments on my eyebrows than almost anything. You still there? Hello? What the heck? You guys are weird. These comments are getting weird. Am I still here?